It's time for Leather Podcast.
Well, hello guys, it's been a while. We're not in the studio. We are doing some filming for the Leathered Boys Go, and it's nice to have you, Chris. We're at NQ64 in Glasgow.
What
it's
does
like a retro.
the NQ stands for?
I don't know.
The idea.
The idea.
And you know?
Find out. Do you know?
No.
We'll find out.
I feel like we should ask that right at the start.
Could be. But it's retro gaming. We're going to do this as part of.
What is it? NQ6? What?
NQ64.
So, like, Nintendo 64 type.
I think that's
Aye.
it's a chain.
Maybe something to do with like 64-bit, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
Like,
There's a few of them, aren't there?
there's one down in
obviously
Manchester. This is
we're in
obviously
Glasgow.
Glasgow.
One in Edinburgh.
Glasgow.
Aye. So let's get into it.
I know, let's just...
Can you see me all right? That's good.
Right, fill us in, Chris.
Fill you in.
Start.
Everyone, fill you if you want.
Everyone, we just need to know.
I feel like I've been trying not to ask you. Because I'm wanting you to save it for this. Like, even the day I was like, oh, I didn't want to ask too much, so...
What do you want to know?
Half Dome, tell me what happened. You said to go into a lottery, didn't you?
Aye.
You didn't get the lottery, but you still done like the vast majority of the tour, didn't you?
Aye, it was like fucking 16 hours hike. Like basically nearly walked for a full day, but up and down mountains, waterfalls and that. But we got to the last bit, the Half Dome, where you need a permit for. There's a park ranger, somebody, Jamie, you do that all the time, man. Cracking cans like tenants. There's a park ranger at the top. I don't know if he hikes that every day or just stays up there for the full week. It's weird, right? But it's right at the very end.
How long does it take you to go up that part of the Half Dome? That's because it's a chain, isn't it? Like it's 8
miles.
8 miles. So
On 8 miles to you get to the cables.
So this guy has to 8 mile hike there and then climb up the cables.
No, he's at the bottom.
He's at the bottom. He's just chilling.
Aye. So I'm like, so if you've not got a permit, they do like a lottery on the day as well. They only do $250 a day, but you need to apply for the permit in the March for all year round. There are people that apply for 10 years still never get it.
That's wild.
So we're like, we'll chance it. There's some people, maybe they're like a group of 4 and one of their pals can't make it, so they go up and they're like,
They've got a spare.
We've got a spare. That's what it's like. So it's like you're waiting outside a shop asking for some cunt to go in for green for you. That's what it's like. So we get to the top and the guy's like, honestly, the guy's sitting in a chair. They could walk around him and just do it. But Derek went over, he's like, listen, I've not got permits. And he gave us a few options. He's like, can wait there, ask for people. We were late up. People leave at 5 in the morning to do the hike. We left at like 8. So people were already up and came in the way down before. So if we went up and everybody, we could have maybe, there was plenty of people who had spares basically. So he's like, if you mix in with people, you can get one. If they can say, they're with us.
Aye.
Got with us, or you can wait till I leave and I'm not saying in, but
Because you know Greece's Pam? Greece's Pam, little man.
I'm sure that's done.
He was a straight
lacer.
shooter, man. Aye. So
The thing is, though, if anything happens to you and he's took money off you and something happens to you, he's fucked.
It's because it's like a 7-hour hike, 8-hour hike to get to this point, and he finishes at 5, just say, and then we can go up. Time we're up there, it's dark. And 8 hours down in the dark, and some of it was quite hard in the light to hike. Never mind, you can't see in. There's bears, there's all sorts. I'm not hiking 8 hours in the dark with bears. I don't want to do the Half Dome that much today, you know what I mean?
That's what I say to you as well. It doesn't take a big fall to break your fucking leg or your ankle or your anything, and then that's...
I fell a couple of times and I could see.
Aye.
So it's like...
So it's...
And you could see bear shit everywhere. You could smell it. It was fresh. You're like, these motherfuckers are here. These motherfuckers are here. All sorts of
Looking
animals.
for picnic baskets.
Eagles. Everything, man. Everything.
What was it, just while we're on that, what was the coolest animal you've seen? Because I seen there was moose, there was all that kind of stuff.
Lizard.
A lizard?
So that was the Half Dome, just climbing on the rocks, wee lizard things and all, and eagles flying above you, and fucking, you could hear all sorts of snakes and shit like that, but I didn't see a bear, man. We went to like the worst places to go to in Canada, and then didn't see one bear, man. We missed that bear with half an hour.
It's all a lie, mate.
It's
all a lie.
Aye.
It's like...
There's no bears.
There's no bears, it's like Bigfoot.
The woman's like that, like, she's like, I see bears every day that stayed there. But they're like, you always look left and right before they cross the road. The bears are like that. The more time you see bears is if you look in your rear minute after you pass, because they're like
Behind you.
They're waiting for you to pass, and they can go, which kind of makes sense. But it was still, the hike was still unbelievable. It's called the John Muir hike. It was actually Scottish.
Aye. There's like a John Muir award. He was like the father of conservation in America, so he went to America and put in a lot of things to stop them from like destroying nature reserves and all that kind of stuff. So he's massive in Scotland. But big Jai Muir.
So we done that trail, which took us over like 2 massive waterfalls, and it was a haul. But the way there, I was buzzing. Derek was blowing at his arse big time, and he was contemplating throwing the towel in. He says, and I was like, really? He's dreamt of that for fucking about 10 years. I wouldn't have done it if he didn't want to do it, because I wasn't too bothered about it. But once I was there, and you could see it, you see the El Capitan and half dome, you're like fucking buzzing now. But see the last hour, no way doing, because it's like this. Your legs are fucked, your calves are fucked.
Your knees are just constantly,
constantly
pounding.
I could be doing with being home.
Aye. No, that was it.
What was your snacks? Because they're like...
you need to watch what you're doing, because bears can smell fucking for crazy distance away. So
Come and eat all your scran.
No, they call you.
Okay, just chuck your bag when they're on the walls, you know what I mean? But no, I was just like the protein cookies, the Larry's.
They're fucking deadly. Let's be honest,
they stopped doing the birthday cake one though, so it was just the Macedonia nut ones. Remember the birthday cake ones?
The birthday cake ones were deadly.
Tremendous.
They don't do them at all. Have you tried to beat Oreo cookies?
No.
Yep.
So I was just living off them, and I had a shitload of water. But in the way doing, I was under the sun for so long, I got a really bad headache where I was like all over the place. And I got to the point I couldn't drive when I got to the bottom, because I just needed
like
to
Sunstroke, exhaustion.
But I'd hundreds of water with me, gallons.
But we're not used to it.
So I get to the car, right? I'm just a strip off. I sit in the fucking the front seat, just in my boxers, man. The door's wide open, I was fucked. This family just popped in this like American fucking soccer mobile.
The
Slides home like the 18-man 10 ways jump out, and I'm just like at the box. And I just didn't move, just done that. I grabbed the door and shut it. Didn't give a fuck about it.
Okay, kids, roll the windows. Don't look at that Scottish man.
You want some? Come.
They look at me.
But as it, like, Derek was gutted, know what I mean? That was like, it was like shagging a bird, getting to the end and like blue ball, and you like you can't shoot your muck. Know what I mean? It's just like we got so far, so close, but
Couldn't go all the way.
You hike through Yosemite for 16 hours. That's a hike, and that's experience and the sights, and it was beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. But he's like, he wants to go back and put himself through all that just to get to the cables, and I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. It's like, I'm happy.
You going on your own, mate?
I'm happy, but it was nice, man. It was nice. It was like one of the most fucking well-known national parks in the world, isn't it? But
nice to get a break, eh?
Aye. But the thing is, obviously, the cables, it's like this. It's just all arms. So after doing this 10-mile hike, then you're fucked. Then you need to do this, and then the way back down, you need to go back the way. You go back the way, man.
Do you have to wait in people? Is it like, is there two lengths?
No,
is there an up one and a down one?
No.
So it's
the
just
same one. So you go up, and I think they come down, and then you come up.
So if you just turn up and they're up, you've just got to sit and wait until it comes back down.
Unless you don't see them come back, maybe they're up there and maybe taking photos, or because I think there's like a flat bit like this where you can walk, and it's like that. So I don't know how it works, because
you never got to do it. Aye.
But the park ranger was literally sitting in a step, mate, and I was like, I'll just swerve him. I'll just go round the back of him and join the trail.
Just say hello as if you do have a ticket.
I think it's hefty fines, like 10,000. But then he needs to follow me 10 hours back down, point me out or point him out or whatever, know what I mean?
And get all your details.
Through, like, hey, these Scottish cunts have just jumped me, you know what I mean? But it was nice, man. The next day, I was pretty fat.
Shot. Are you still feeling it for travelling? Because you got back Monday night?
No, I got back last night. I'm a wee bit exhausted because it was like, it's a different town every night, different city. And the cities are nice of the world. You know your famous cities. You know it's the same shit in the cities.
Right.
You have nice cities. But I like the small towns, the wee pockets you've never heard of. Where you bump into old guys that tell you stories about these towns. and it's like they're all gold rush towns and fucking mining towns and all that, and some of them are dodgy, some of them are nice, some of them look like they did 100 years ago, and that's what I love.
Cool,
that's what I love about travelling, because you need to stop somewhere to fuel up, to eat, to piss, to shit, whatever. And then this is where you mob into these people. Some are cool, some are fucking crazy, some are nice.
Avoid.
They hear the accent, they're like, then they tell you stories about maybe the time they came to Scotland or families or whatever. And I think that's what I enjoy about travelling the most, is just like, you're driving roads you've never been, listening to your favourite tunes. That time I was with Derek, so we were getting merry a laugh, but I've done it myself, alone, girlfriends or whatever, so I think that's the enjoyment I get out of it, is like, you've seen all these wee spots that you wouldn't go to.
Crossing paths with people you'll never cross paths with.
One of these things, like being a kid, and you always dream about doing something big. Like, you watch these films, you're like, I want to do that when I'm older. And that's what it is. You're living that memory as a kid.
Aye, maybe.
And it's like, I want to go and see as you like go and watch these movies, and then you go to places like the Halloween house, like the bridge, like all this stuff, like the Goonies house, all this kind of stuff. And is it like nostalgia? Is it like you,
Aye,
like
100%.
as a kid, like just kind of ticked the box?
I think growing up as well, like, I didn't go any holidays. Like, I was poor. I mean, my door, I didn't have door handles and stuff like that in my house, and our telly was shit. And it was just like, now that I'm older, I can do stuff like that. And it's like, I just wanted to do it when I was younger. I wanted
You
to
feel
go
like
on-
you're catching up
I
with
wanted
that,
to
the
go on
way.
adventures. Like,
Aye.
that was it. I wanted to go on adventures, and it's not a day with my mum and dad. No, I mean, they gave us what they could. We went to like caravans close by and stuff like that, and that was like a holiday. But now that I can do it, I'm like, why not do it? And hopefully down the line, that my daughter would like to spend some time like that with a weird dad. Mum, come here, I don't want to do that. You're doing it.
You're doing it.
I've done it with my son,
doing
like,
it though,
come on,
eh?
we're gone.
That was one of the things, like, obviously my daughter's getting a bit older, and she's obviously looking at what's next in her life, and it's university and going to all these different things, and I'm like, why don't you just go and travel the world?
Aye.
And she's like, no, I'm going to go to uni. And I was like, no, but why don't you just go and travel the world?
Aye.
Because I would love to have been, you imagine being 16 and like you're 17 and your dad saying, listen, here's a bung, go and travel
Aye.
the world. How
Do your
amazing would that be?
thing.
Aye.
Go to like Thailand, go to America,
Aye.
go and do all that kind of stuff. I'm in a position I can do that. And the same for like when your daughter gets older,
Aye.
we're all in positions where we can do that. And they don't want to do it because it's no their life. It was our life. That's what we wanted to do.
I think also, well, obviously your daughter's tiny, ours are a bit, like, our kids didn't have that, like, we didn't get to go and do that thing.
Aye.
Like, we have been in a position where we can take our kids to nice place, and you'll be the same as your daughter gets a bit bigger. You can do those sort of big holidays that just weren't happening.
Aye.
They weren't achievable. It's just as simple as that. Your mum and dad couldn't put the money
Go
together.
to America
End
as
of.
a kid.
Wasn't happening.
For us, like,
Wasn't happening.
that was like, so I came from a family of 5. That was 5 passports. That's 5 flights to America. That's however long you're staying there, spending money, all the shit that goes along with, like, let's say going to Florida. Because I remember, like, one of my friends got to go to Florida, and it was just this amazing life that this kid used to live. And I used to be like, oh my God, like, he gets to do this all the time. And then it's like, now I'm like, I want to give that to my kids.
Aye.
I want my kids to experience that.
That was the first time I ever got some money. That was the first thing I did.
Aye.
That was the
It's-
very
it's a
first
big
thing I
thing.
did.
It's a big thing for
And I
people to
remember
do.
doing
It's still expensive in news.
Oh, it's
They're mad on tips, Americans, aren't they?
they're
Like,
you must have. Aye.
aye. Like, we went into the Viper Room. That's where, I don't know if you know, but River Phoenix died outside it. I think Johnny Depp used to own it. Right, it's a nightclub. It's absolute shithole, but it looks like something for like Malibu. It's just like, it was like a
mega bar.
like a My Chemical Romance concert or some shit. That's what it looked like, man. Just emos everywhere. But like, I paid to get in. This wee woman at the front door, like you would at like 30s or wherever. Wee woman at the front door, stamp you, pay your money. That was it. Like, so I paid me and Derek and whatever, and it's just like tip. I'm
She
like,
wanted a tip.
aye.
So
To
they,
get in.
Like, what did you do?
Exactly, that's what I says. I'm like, you just sit in this chair, like, you stamped me, you just gave me the green light to go in.
Aye.
Yeah, I need to tip you. I usually tip 10%. I'm a 10% guy, right?
Aye, that's good. That's
I
good.
just done that. 0. Just for this bitch. Because she done nothing. I just done, I'll tip 0. And just looked at her with a smile. I'm like, maybe not getting now, but
Aye.
she didn't do nothing. She just sat there like, it was like, you want boss here, you need to tip me? No.
I'll tip if you are nice to the kids in the restaurant and stuff like
I'll
that.
give you the tip.
Aye.
See if somebody's bringing me my food
If all you do is bring the food,
and it's on time, they deserve a tip.
Aye, and they're going above and beyond, and they're going to chat, and they're showing you
Manners,
a bit of attention.
manners, aye.
I get it. But see if they're just expecting a tip for doing their job,
then you're definitely not getting it.
that's your fucking job, man.
Aye,
Just do your fucking job.
But they want tips every day, man.
I know. And I think it's one of these things because minimum wage in quite a lot of places like bars and all that kind of stuff's like really low, and they bulk it up with tips.
Aye.
So I get it for both points, but if you've done shit, man, you've done shit.
Earn that tip, not me.
I see it working in there.
What's the tip?
You want to see the real Viper? Right, back to training as well. I seen you training at the Diaz's new gym, isn't it?
Aye, in Lodi.
You've trained that guy before, haven't you? This
I trained with that guy, Lucas. He's another black belt. I trained with Rudy the last time, but there was a mix up between the two gyms. So I went to.
So they still got both gyms running?
Aye, they've got a new. So they've moved gym for Stockton. So I trained at Old Stockton. They've now got a new one in Stockton and a new one in Lodi. So the time I went to the one in Stockton, there was a mix up between classes and that. So I ended up going to Lodi and just training there. It was just jiu-jitsu.
Did you learn any cool tricks?
I did actually.
Aye, I
really
like that.
good. Really good. The way that Lucas was showing his class and his students was like, it was kind of like a self-defense street fight. This is what to do to get out of situations by using jiu-jitsu and maybe landing shots and MMA. So it was a different view to it, but it was a high level
black belt. Bit Stockton in it.
Aye.
It's so I can get it if you're running a class for maybe it was a self-defense class or jiu-jitsu. He's maybe trying to make it relevant for the kids growing up in the area. It's like, right, if you're getting fucked up in the street, maybe just drop a little elbow, drop a little shoulder.
Or you don't want to be lying on the ground too long for his mate to come and fucking hole punt your head to the halfway line.
But it was really good.
Nearly away there.
It was really good. I enjoyed it. It's some good guys. So I walk in the mat. We've done technique the first class, and I had the Celtic tap on. Obviously, I should know well best. And the guy's just like, Americans like, that badge, yeah, I've got it tattooed on me right here. And I'm just thinking, like, Irish guy, maybe like a good luck clover or something, because he was American. He wasn't Scottish, Irish, whatever. American, and I was like, aye, good. And after it, took his rash guard off, Celtic badge on his bicep. I was like, what's the fucking chances of that? I mean,
was he a Celtic fan?
So his papa was, his grandfather was. He watched all the games, went to all the games.
So he's got
it for his papa, which is even better.
Makes sense as well, though, like that part of the world.
That's pretty cool.
Aye.
Some of them were good. The coaches, he was really good. They like the high mount S guard, S mount, sort of like arm bars and stuff like that. And they were good. Some of them were good, but the coach is really good.
And then after that, you went out partying?
Chilling in LA. Nah.
I can't remember what day.
You were definitely smoking Jaybirds.
Oh no! So we go to Venice Beach. Derek knows a guy. He used to train me at SPG Island when he used to come over with me. Called Patrick. He's French/Welsh, right? He's got a weird accent, but
he's called
French,
Patrick.
Welsh guy that stays in
Santa Monica. Aye, it's mental, right? He spoke like Mario Sahid, mate. So I asked him if he was Kurdish. I'm like, you got to be? He's like, no, Welsh. I'm like, whatever. so they go meet him. He's a great guy. Who cuts him off on his bike? Arnold Schwarzenegger, mate. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Aye, that hour. Drives about. See one of the electric bikes. He's two security with their bikes and that. So his office is right where we were drinking, and so is Gold's Gym. So he goes to his office, the Gold's Gym, a couple of times a day on his bike. Hello, waving to people. I'm like, come on, that's just too cool.
What, take the security though?
Mural, I know. I didn't, man. I went to Malibu, so I left Derek with his pal Patrick getting a few drinks. I went to Malibu.
What took you out to Malibu?
It was the beach I was going to. It was like for Planet of the Apes, the real Planet of the Apes. See where the scene? I didn't do the scene because I didn't have anybody with me. But I done some shady albums there as well, Eminem stuff there.
Is that when he's running along the beach?
The pier. The pier for the album, some shady LPs.
Chucking his wife off the pier.
Right.
Nah. And then as I was there, the sun was coming down, so I just chilled. And then I went back and got to him. But so Patrick's like, oh, you need to come to the house. Californication, it's fucking whatever. So net. Right, he's pushing this, right? So I'm like, right. I was driving. Man, this pad, on the cliff edge, looking over Venice Beach.
I seen your
Must be about
social
10
media.
million, right? So the missus is his wife's mum was there, right? And she had actors in. They sell art, like big, like mega paintings for crazy money, as the house would fucking add up to. So there's a gay actor in called Baron, Sasha, Baron, that's it. Right, so Derek's a bit, he's had a few brews in him. And
One minute, imagine you were coming in to buy some artwork.
And Derek and you are there.
the guy's an actor though.
I bet, even if you're coming in and you're getting Derek who's fucking been blazing all day.
Plus, like heavy Scottish. But they're
Aye.
loving him. They're loving him, like, because he's
Of course.
Aye. So they're showing him all these
Everyone loves
he's showing him all these expensive paintings. He's like, I would need to paint a few houses and shots to get this, right? And Barron's like, I love the way you talk, Derek. And I was like, you're never coming out, man. I'm like, yeah, I'll put you up, Barron. And all that. But he's an actor, so we didn't know, like, look, the in-laws have got an actor in. And they're having like, wine and that, but we don't know what actor, you know, what driving. They're like, imagine we're rocked up at Denzel or something like that. You just need to go right out because they'll talk to you forever. So we go, and obviously that Baron guy, they're all having an accent. But we go to the back, and the view was honestly Malibu here, Santa Monica here, Venice here. But it was at dark, it was night. Coyotes running about and all that. And we had a few J bombs, man. And just chilling.
Proper G-bombs, no fucking about, man. That stuff
aye.
fries you.
And I had to drive. Oh, fucking hell. I crashed him over me.
A hire car.
Because you were fucking high?
No, I ran into a bus, the side of the bus, man.
What were you doing?
I was looking at my hotel, man. So the turn off for my hotel. I drove 2 weeks, 2 different countries, and I get to the last hurdle of the last hotel I was going to leave the motor. And I was like that. Aye, parked bus. I came round the corner, the bus was parked. Fuck you, wing mirror all the way down the motor.
Oh, mate, how much that cost you?
We had all the insurances, but I fucking gutted, man. It ruined my full day. As soon as we got to the Roosevelt, and I parked the motor, and the wee valet guy's like, you on insurance? I was like, aye, you can smash fuck it, the thing, it doesn't matter. And I was like, nah, it's still gutting. But, aye.
So guys, we are very lucky to be working with Anaconda Fightwear, and one of the products they've got that we're really excited about is a knee brace. So the knee brace not only has a little bit of protection if you're a wrestler and you like to shoot and you're quite heavy on the knee, it gives it a little bit of padding. But the thing that we're excited about with this knee brace is the fact that there's these straps that actually wrap around your knee to give it a little bit more support. So you across the front of the knee, and then it cinches itself on there, and the same again, creates this nice cross underneath the kneecap to give it that nice little bit of support. And what that should in theory stop is if you get natural weakness in your knee from years of playing football, years of running outside, or just somebody swinging off your leg in jiu-jitsu, it will give you that little bit of lateral pressure to stop that from actually dislocating. So it's, as I said, both me and the guys are massively behind this product. We've been giving them to your father-in-law who uses them in the golf course. We've given them to guys in the gym who have knee issues, and they swear by them. And as we said, the thing that sets these apart from anybody else is these bits of Velcro, which actually mean nothing, but until you actually wrap them up and use them properly, it makes a huge difference. So check out Anaconda Fightwear. What's the website?
AnacondaFightwear.co. You'll get 2 rash guards for $59 now. Got the green, got the black, they come in long sleeve, there's a gold one.
Some tight
Shorts. Tight shorts.
normal shorts.
So guys, check out Anaconda Fightwear. You will be impressed. The rash guards are not covered in massive Dragon Ball Z stuff. They're very, very classy. We kind of like the design of them. And the same for the shorts. We were wearing the shorts for our competition at the weekend. Chris will be fighting them in his next fight as well. The kit itself is fantastic, and this knee brace, if you have been plagued with injuries through jiu-jitsu, MMA, whatever your sport is, go and check them out, and it's anacondafightwear.co.
What other drugs were you partaking in there?
I wasn't taking any.
Aye, okay.
I wasn't. Not much, I don't think.
Just weed? Do you take some edibles?
Nah, I took an edible last night, man. That was about it.
Help you sleep though. Jet lag be fucked. So that's when I got the message for you. See when you said about getting the run to the airport.
sorry. Aye, so we ended up in the Rainbow Room with my good friend Zangief.
Oh, we back out with Zangief again. Aye, that's chaos, mate. Aye, of course.
Derek didn't like him. They didn't kick it off too well.
I thought Derek would have been all of that.
Aye, but
Is that when like two positives come together?
no, just Andy was fucked. Yeah, he's fucked now, to be fair. Sat down. As soon as we met him, he just sat down. He was walking about with just a big bag of coke and a big massive straw.
And just
He was putting the straw into the bag, like walking about this.
does he just make his money off of like Comic Cons and that kind of stuff?
He must.
Because-
And I don't even know if he's got money, to be fair.
Well, if you're kind of about a big bag of coke,
Aye, but I think it was just a sample.
When you get to get to that stage, you need money regardless to get it, don't you? So you find it.
Derek's trying to tell him about he went to see Street Fighter when he was a wee guy.
no.
And he's just like, I was in a snooker hall and Andy's just written him like, Jimmy Fly snooker? Like, what? Like, and I'm just like, it was awkward. And so I ended up got to see Street Fighter, whatever, and there was no sale for Andy, right? Next thing you know, the chair just collapses. It just snaps. The chair.
With his weight on it?
Aye.
He's a big fucking
So
unit.
they came out like, Andy, man, that's like 8 chairs and 2 couches now, man. Like, so we must just break chairs and couches.
He's a fucking big dude, man.
And it was with a guy who, one of his pals, I think he was a Native American, right? But he was like, do you want to talk about politics? So Derek's been kind of vacillating Biden for ages, right? Andy's a big Trump guy. So we're thinking, so Derek starts slating Biden. Like, you got a Biden vote? And the guy's like, yes, sir. And it was just like,
What's the end of that then?
and it was we went right into detail and all that, about his reservations and stuff like that. He's younger and that. And he's pancaked the chair. It was getting a bit angry to that. Like, so we end up having to boost. I'll tell you off camera, but
They call it a day.
Story.
aye, that's where we went to the Viper bar across the road. End up my karaoke bar. I sent you like the guy was singing Weezer. Never heard that song in my life ever.
It was good.
What a song!
I know.
What a song, man.
What was it?
we ended up
John
back
Hammond?
We ended up back at the hotel, and it was eventful. The hotel was eventful. That's
Was
all
it
I
the
can
Roosevelt? Was that when you were staying there?
say.
Haunted, the Roosevelt?
So they say, but my room was haunted.
Is that the one for the documentary with the lassie in the water tank one?
No.
That was on Netflix. No, that's
Nah,
something else.
that's just doing a bit. That's
Talking about Netflix documentary, do you see the wrestling?
wrestlers. I've not watched it yet.
I've not
though.
watched that. I
I've
thought it
watched
was
2.5 episodes. Al Snow, cutting
I've not
about.
watched it. I've not watched
Al
it, man.
Snow's in it. It's actually, it's alright, you
Aye.
know. It's like ICW.
Aye,
That's what it's like.
somebody says it's like ICW.
Aye, it's very, very similar to that.
Why is it showing you
It's showing you behind the scenes.
like
It's showing
a
you
small
like,
indie show or that?
aye, it's one of the feeders for like, or it was one of the feeders for the WWE. But what happened was the WWE ended up just doing all their own stuff now because they do their NXT, so they don't need all these feeder shows.
Right.
And it's one of the only shows that are still trying to hustle. They're not making a lot of money. Imagine this documentary will be massive. I'm only like a couple of episodes in. But aye, it's about like their stories. Do you remember the ICW documentary? It was all the backstage stuff where you had like one guy's trying to make money and he's like a radio producer or a radio DJ. He's trying to make money while the other guy who's Al Snow's like, no, I'm trying to make some really good TV. I'm trying to make this business, boom, 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 and it's just going back and forward. Then you've got a couple of people who are like a stereo.
Yeah, Grados and stuff like that.
Aye, but they're all these guys trying to sell their own gimmick, like, you know, busting into Al Snow's office, like I am the greatest, like, yeah, I will beat it, like, get the
So was Al Snow running the promotion?
Al Snow runs the promotion. Still looks pretty good for his age, man.
Aye.
Like, well,
So is it recent?
aye,
Oh,
it's,
so I thought it was like old footage.
no, and it obviously goes into his and tells you obviously about Al Snow, where he came from, like. But like, Al Snow was almost one of the wrestlers
His
where
gimmick
it's like,
long out with a mannequin head.
What does everybody want? Head. It's fucking hilarious, isn't it? But it's not until you're an adult you realise that. But it's like Al Snow was never ever the greatest wrestler. Like I think he was like a tag team with Mick Foley, and it was just that two weird guys together.
Was he a hardcore guy? Was he maybe a hardcore guy?
He was a hardcore guy.
Aye.
And like, no, I didn't like hardcore, but he just was never ever like, he's never a legend.
No.
He never ever makes any list for anything, even if I'm thinking about hardcore
No,
matches.
but you know who he is.
Aye,
You
I
know
know
his
who he
name.
is. But it was just because it was that shitty gimmick of, what does everybody want?
Head. Everybody has one head, know what I mean?
I know,
Male,
like,
female,
like the guy
trans,
knew,
whatever.
but it was like,
Male, female, trans.
he was, we went through a few like gimmicks where he was like a pretty boy at one point, and he was trying to get all these like gimmicks over. And as a wrestling fan, I'm watching this through the backstage and thinking that's pretty cool.
Aye.
Like hearing all that kind of stuff, because we pay money to go and watch wrestlers tell their story, and
Aye.
it doesn't matter if you're a legend or not a legend. You still want to hear
Who's the
somebody's story.
greatest wrestler, in your opinion, ever?
What are we going for? Wrestling ability as a wrestler, then it would be Bret Hart.
Right.
As a wrestler,
What
as
about
a talker, it's probably up there with
The Rock?
The Rock or Stone Cold.
Aye.
It's very, very close.
Rock's the most famous.
What about Ric Flair?
Nah.
On the mic, though.
I know.
90s Ric
He
Flair,
was- he was-
coked up Flair.
He's still
Was
good
it
on
best Flair?
podcasts, but I've been listening to him on podcasts lately. He's
Aye,
still
he's
quite.
on Theo's,
He's
man.
good, aye.
That's tough.
Aye.
I think I've always liked Ric Flair, and
Aye.
I don't know, man. I
Like
just
Shawn
think,
Michaels?
No, I always hated Shawn
Aye,
Michaels.
I hate him.
I always
Good
fucking
answer.
hated him, man.
Why'd you hate him?
Just
Because
because
he
he's
screwed,
sexy as hell,
he
man.
screwed Brett.
No, just because he was sexy. I didn't like his whole gimmick about
Sexy.
like fuck
He was a
off.
sexy boy, that's his tune with it. So,
I was more an ass man myself, you know. I liked
Aye.
badass. I didn't like badass belly gun. Who had the best move? Actually, would hurt
pedigree?
right face right in. What about
Aye.
the tombstone?
No, because sometimes he didn't hit the fucking ground.
I know, but I'm thinking like in like,
Tombstone pile driver? Aye.
boom, like because the rock bottom was pish.
Aye, it's pish.
The rock bottom was shit.
No
the
worse than
stunner,
no
stunner
worse than the
pretty
people's
shit.
elbow, mate.
Aye,
The Hogan leg drop was up there. Was
but then imagine getting like a guy who's 7 whatever he is, weighing a good couple of 100 kg.
just
Dram his ass right in your face. what about the stick face of like Rikishi?
Aye, that's probably the worst one to take.
Just because you
I'm
get
going to
hit
hit
with
my
pink eye,
finisher. Yeah. Right, what's your finisher? I just stick my ass crack in your face.
you get a little bit of stink.
All right.
So you wouldn't mind if it was you wouldn't mind if it was like
30-minute wrestling
fucking,
match.
you wouldn't mind that if it was like Trish Stratus. You're like, give me the stink face all day.
Aye. Aye, of
But,
course.
so what you're going for is the most devastating move if it was a real move in wrestling. Pedigree.
Aye. I'd say pedigree.
But then maybe you're just smashing your face off the ground. Whereas the tombstones,
Your arms are behind your back.
I know, but-
clasped, and then
just
sometimes
your
you
face.
get a wee spike on the head, I know.
I'm
that'll be
going
deal.
to go tombstone. Boom.
Tombstone.
I don't know what any of these are, mate. You're talking about people I didn't even get. It sounds so bad.
know-
but,
you
like,
know
my
the wrestling moves?
my knowledge of wrestling is so
Don't
bad.
know any?
Like, not really. I don't know what a tombstone is.
Just say Socko then.
All right,
Socko.
that,
Socko.
we'll go with that.
Come Socko. Pulling out the socket, it's all yellow and all that.
That was like some of the events we've been pretty cool, isn't they, man? What was your favourite so far? Did you like the Bret Hart one?
Aye, that's... I like the
Jim
Jericho one.
Ross. I like
Jericho
Jim
one.
Ross. I like Jericho because I
Aye.
got to meet him after it, but I
Aye.
like Jim Ross because he's a guy that's seen it, done it, like kind of.
Did you
Put
buy
in
his
shit.
barbecue?
No,
He's got his name, Jim JR's Barbecue, you know that?
no.
Aye. I'm sure he sells it at the shows.
God.
Aye.
My God, King, I think he's broken. Like, see, I went there and that's all I could think of the full time was just that line. My God, King. But I saw the show. It's all right. Like, if you've got shit to watch, I wouldn't bother watching it. But it's one of the ones that fills
No,
time.
I'll definitely watch it, man. Being a wrestling
I let
fan
my-
and a wrestler. We're wrestlers, mate.
I let my son watch
Undefeated.
the Hangover 2 last night.
Right.
And it gets to the bit when he's in the bar, obviously, with the lady boy. My missus is like grabbing the remote, and I'm like, no, leave it. He's watching this
Let
bit.
the boy watch.
And she's like, no, he can't. I'm like, leave him. He's fucking 12-year-old. He knows what a lady boy is. So he was just like, you could see, I'm like, oh my God.
Sometimes I stumble across some ladyboy porn, some trans porn. I mean, just pops
that-
up.
and you're just
Aye.
Just pops up. I'm already hard, so it's like,
You just
I
You
mean,
finish.
just finish
see
it
where
off.
this goes.
Aye.
Maybe change, maybe
So
not.
what was your son's thoughts on
He never says. He was just, and see the bit at the end.
Shut your load.
He was obviously like, my missus likes to
My
think
bottom.
he doesn't know anything, and I'm like, of course he fucking knows. Like, what do you
listens
think?
to this podcast.
Yeah, what do you think they talk about at school?
Does he listen to podcasts?
He doesn't know, but
What's happening, bro?
I bet you just
I'll show him stuff on TikTok, and he's like, "Is this your dad?" I'm like, aye, that's him.
Yeah, 100% listens.
I think he probably does. Sometimes I hope he doesn't.
We spoke this before, obviously, with the daughter, and I know she listens.
I would say her boyfriend does.
What about the?
He's had a good few mentions.
What about the Weather podcast with an L?
Weathered.
Weathered.
I know, it's like a weather podcast.
So that's what I messaged you saying. Is
Well.
Theo had a mad one or something? But so he's off. He doesn't drink, no drugs, nothing for. So doesn't even have a
Did
beer
you
or
guys
nothing.
put the weathered up on the leathered podcast? Weathered with an L. I think he's pure chuff for himself.
But I told him that he wants to come on the podcast.
Aye.
That's
I
cool.
told him that he's like, oh, been at a few of the UFCs recently, and aye, you see him in the front row, sometimes behind Joe and that. So the security wasn't letting me back, and he was like, "Where are you?" Text me, "Where are you?" I'm like, "The security's been cunts." So they end up, security told me to go down like the bit they would come in, like the drive, but there were fans there and that.
You know what it's like yourself though. Everybody
Cunts
says that.
want like hundreds of photos to be signed. You know what the guys that just sell them on the internet and
Aye.
that. But me and Derek are just standing there. He opens the side door. He's like, "Hey Chris!" He's like, "Come on!" Like they just swarm him. He's like, "You just go in." He's like, "You want to sit with us for a bit in the green room?" I'm like, "Aye, man." So we go in the green room.
Who else was there?
You had Ari, no
Shafir.
Shafir, the one that's touring with him. He was quite funny.
Manus is his
Aye.
name. He's funny, eh?
Aye.
I've said he actually did the support in Glasgow for him. I'm sure he's quite good. You would remember him if you've seen him.
So
He does good ones on Instagram where he like sell his man's car and that. And then the mum's like, "Oh, where's the car?" And he's like, "I've just sell it." Eh? He's quite funny. He's good.
So we're sitting, chilling in the green room, just telling her the funny stories and that. Yeah, we had them buckled, mate. We had them buckled. That there should be more like Scottish comedians, man. I probably didn't even hear what we were saying, but he's like, "I played Glasgow." I was like, "Aye, we came." And I says, Paul came and all and that. Yeah, you were there? It's like, "Oh shit, man, you should have said."
Had a good time at that one. He was wired to fuck at that one though.
Me and Derek are like, we were kind of full of the fucking the devil's dandruff that night, and he's like, "Oh man," like feel buckle. So he's like, he took us onto the stage and that, and got his like guys to like take photos there with his phone, and got the lighting out and all that, like stuff like that. And then he sent these guys away to get his hundreds of t-shirts and stuff like that. But he's like, when I'm in Glasgow touring, he's like, "I'll come on the podcast and stuff like that."
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
But I told him about leathered, like it means the meaning behind the two meanings behind leathered, and then he still said weathered.
Weathered.
Quality.
But it was
He seems quite just a normal guy, eh? Like he's probably one of the people who's mega famous but doesn't realise he's famous, if that makes sense. Like he probably just wants to still go about and do all the stuff he did before.
He was class, mate, to be fair. Good
Whole trip. What was the best part about it?
fun.
A cheeky smile on your face here, Chris. There's something you can't say in the podcast, which is the best part about it.
Definitely. I don't know, man. I don't know. Honestly, don't know. There was so much shit going on, man. I'd end up forgetting something, but probably chilling with Theo was my favourite bit because he didn't need to do it, and like we were sitting in the green room, there were like Ted Nugent pictures up. He was there just like the week before or something, and I don't know, maybe the stand walking across the Stand By Me bridge was quite cool.
I like that.
But quite fucking scary and all. I don't know, man. There was so much shit. I don't know. Probably Theo, mate.
Theo.
Chill with Theo on that.
Talking about guests on the podcast, I was on the Bisping podcast.
I seen that.
And he's like, "When am I coming on?" I never even thought about asking him. I had no idea why.
Did you tell him what we're like on a podcast, or it's not really an MMA based podcast?
I said that. I do. My advice to people is, if you're looking for a good MMA podcast, we ain't your guys.
Go and watch
If you're
Ale
looking-
Helwani.
Because what I said was, I was like, our MMA chat consists of, did you watch UFC the weekend? I was alright, wasn't it? Did I tell you about the time my grandpa caught me wanking? That's the kind of like, if you're looking for fucking good stories about growing up in the 90s, the New Year guys. But so we'll get Bisping on it. I'm doing a tour with him.
Seen that? You doing all the dates, eh?
He's only doing 2 dates, so
London and Manchester.
London and Manchester. So I imagine we'll take a team.
He's got a great story though. To be like, have you read this book?
So
Is it
this is
this
the
year?
second. It's December. So I imagine what we'll do is we'll probably bounce down probably the London one, and then probably film this podcast as well as doing some of his stuff and get some cool behind the scenes stuff.
Aye.
We've not obviously sorted with the G4 guys yet, but I imagine that's one of the things.
Oh, they'll be fine with it, I think. You'll be all right with that.
But this will be the first time, if you come, that we've actually been out partying with Bisping. I've partied with him a few times, but you've always missed partying with him.
I missed the Brazil, and I think I missed Vegas one time or something.
He likes the whiskey, eh?
He likes the red wine.
Aye.
That's what we were talking about in the podcast. So when he originally done his Octagon Tales, so he did his first stand-up, it was just him telling his stories, get some funny wee stories, shows some wee pictures of like his experience, all that kind of stuff. But he was drinking red wine, and people were like bringing him drinks and setting him at the edge of the stage for him to drink, and he was obviously drinking them. But he was like, asked his guy, like one of his runners, can you get me a bottle of red wine? Brings it out, cocks it, and everybody's like, down it, down it, down it, down it.
You don't down red wine, man.
Smashes a bottle of red wine, right? And then like a couple of minutes later asks the guy to bring him another bottle, because he's obviously needing a drink, an actual drink to sit and actually tell the stories. The guy's like, down it. Fucking
He'll
two
be able
bottles
to talk.
He sing too, man.
He sung too.
Oh, no.
And he was like, I was fucked. And I was like, I know you were. I could see you were fucked. But it was a cool story, as you said. Like, a guy's been there, done it. First UK champion we had.
Aye.
And
I'm a fan. I've always been a Bisping fan.
For sure.
like, he's one of the first toughs I seen, was him doing the smashes. And it was
Colin Fletcher and that.
Colin Fletcher, Ross Pearson was in
Norman
it.
Park, aye.
All these kind of guys. So these were like the guys opened the door for MMA for me. So Michael Bisping was always one of these guys.
He's got great stories about like Dan Hardy as well, and the trials for Tough in the book as well. If you read that, like, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but the book as well, it wasn't at all what I was expecting. It went and I was like, oh, he's just exactly like us, just completely the same. Like, worked in nightclubs, got to Selling Baller, got locked up for a bit, like. Just these things happen, eh? He's just a normal guy and just
Try to
broke
hustle,
through.
man.
Yeah, try to make some money and try to fucking change his life. It's a cool guy. You couldn't
about
know
it.
like him.
Talking about MMA chat, did you watch the UFC the weekend?
Aye. I watched
Did
it.
you watch it in a bar?
Aye, I watched it in...
How good is it watching it at a reasonable time? How it's meant to be watched in it? It's a totally different sport. Rather than watching it early hours in the morning or watching it first thing in the morning before you go into social media so you don't know the outcomes.
What you're saying about the split draw?
It was never a 10-8 round.
So what
in a
happened? 'Cause
million-
I didn't watch it because
million years, never.
MMA knowledge.
And now they're saying that they're going to be bringing the judges in to educate them on what an actual 10-8 round should be. So this is, again, we're back to judging, eh? Because judges have given a 10-8 round and they're wanting to clarify the criteria for a 10-8 round.
Aye.
So,
A 10-8 round is you're very
really
close to
fuck-
getting finished.
aye.
Aye.
Or somebody
But
dominates you.
She was dominating the round. She made the mistake. She got her back took with a
Who was
minute to
dominating
go.
the round?
Bullet.
Right.
She made the mistake, got her back took with about a minute to go. Grasso had her back. Try to finish her with punches. Try to choke her out with a minute to go. That's not a 10-8 round.
You think so?
Never in a million years, but she wasn't close to getting finished. She was just punching the back of her head, trying to get the choke in like she did the first fight. That's not a 10-8 because the 4 minutes before that, the Bullet was in control. For me.
It was just weird, the whole fucking thing.
Unless you're getting choked and you're ready to tap and the bell goes, that's probably a 10-8 because you're ready to get finished.
I get it.
Aye.
But
And Rosas Jr. getting the KO. And now he's got some back and forth with Aljo.
the guy was shite,
I
man.
hear him.
The guy who fought was absolute
He's
pish.
fighting an 18-year-old boy though, mate. Like, it's an 18...
So
like,
I never seen it, but I just seen all the memes asking for 50 cheese. I find that hilarious. 50 cheese.
see when
Can't really
whenever they...
talk.
Yeah,
He's
see
got
the one
that-
where they do the...
Ugliest guy ever, man.
They put the microphone to him and then fucking put the Tasmanian devil voiceover over it.
Aye.
It's a fucking
It's like,
shame.
when I see his side profile, I want to like open my beer off. Just want to fucking
Try to sniff his chin.
Good KO
The,
for him,
the guy
mate.
was fighting was pish, mate.
Do you think you gave him a nod to get him back on the winning ways? Because they're obviously trying to push
They'd
this
like him to win.
like the Mexican.
It was
thing
Mexican
because-
Independence Day and
Aye.
stuff like that. Is
They
it?
obviously opened
Who
up.
gives a fuck about that, man?
They obviously opened up the
Mexicans.
PI as well.
Some of them.
They opened up the Performance Institute in Mexico as well.
Oh, is that
Seen
right?
that? Aye.
So it's like
It all needed
pushing
to
this,
tie
aye.
in.
And who
Aye,
else was
well,
fighting on the
makes
card?
sense.
Built a big wall all the way down.
Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland fought.
Kevin all got beaten off.
Kevin Holland got beat.
Did he?
JDM.
That was a weird. Did you see the betting
He
for
was
that?
fucking running away, turning his back.
All the bookies thought that was going to be like a one rounder. Everything was for it to be finished inside a round.
Oh, that JDM is really good, man.
Aye.
Really
He was the massive favourite. Kevin Holland was a big underdog
Was
in the,
it? Was that what it
in the
was?
betting. Because I saw the betting and I was like,
That's strange.
what am I saying here?
Aye.
But, aye. So there you go.
What
So,
about, did you see Deshaun's broke the belt? Did you see his,
put duct tape on it.
did you see behind the duct tape though? Did you see the wall?
No.
It was just full of guns.
Aye, guns on the
was
wall.
it?
Gun racks. and
I
that.
see him
The
trying
wall
to
Who's that guy,
I don't
mate?
know.
try and fucking torch fucking the guy that owns Monster. Like he's the fucking blowtorch,
Aye.
like the gun.
Oh, I've not seen this.
Aye, the flamethrower thing.
Flamethrower,
Aye.
and he's like chasing fucking hands.
What's going on with him? Is he gets so we're not doing an Izzy rematch, surely? Eh?
I think that's what they want, but
What's going to be the
is
biggest?
he-
I don't like it,
what's going to be
mate.
the biggest hit for
I
fans?
say, just what you lose it every time you need to fight for it again.
Aye.
Like, you already had his rematch with Pereira. Like you can't just keep giving the guy rematches. He keeps
Right.
losing
Mate,
it.
I think
and
he
it
maybe-
was like a clear fucking
But
pounding.
I was thinking about this the other day. He's been like an unbelievably active champion, eh? Or unbelievably active fighter. But he's one of the most
He
active, mate, for
doesn't
sure.
take a lot of damage.
Aye, so he can he fights intelligently.
DDP it and Sean, and then
Exciting fight.
take it for there.
I'd like to see Izzy just chill out for a wee bit and then come back and go, right, that's me back now. I've had a break, I've had a wee rest,
Is
I'm
the
fucking
MD
going to go.
would skip the queue to give a shot to
Yeah.
it?
Obviously.
Wouldn't be Izzy anyway. I don't give a fuck about Izzy. I wouldn't mind no seeing him again anyway.
What about like Bobby Knuckles?
No,
No.
he got blasted his last fight.
He gets injured a lot.
I know what I'm thinking
um,
about is if you are the UFC matchmakers and you might put on a cool fight.
DDP, Sean Strickland is hard not to make, eh? Do you know what
I think maybe the winner of Hamzat and Costa.
For
because
sure. That's what they're
Hamzat
looking
was
at.
training with Strickland, and Strickland's kind of giving him big props. He's a beast not, so the rounds probably didn't go Strickland's way. So
Oh, he said that. I've seen an interview where he says that. He says Hamzat comes in and does everyone. Every day. It's no like some days he has good days and bad days. He's like, he comes in, does everyone, goes.
I think it maybe the title changed hands a few times.
Aye.
Aye.
Next
Good.
couple of fights.
But good, mate. That's not a bad thing, I
But
didn't think. I
Sean
like
just
to-
came off a loss. He also came off a knockout, a split
Right.
decision loss to Cannonier, I think it was. So it's like, and then he's just won the title.
That makes the sport
you
more
never
exciting.
know.
What did we say last week, though? You
Deshaun, I'm
could be the man on the night as well, don't you?
I'm team Strickland, mate.
It's,
I like him.
I think
Because
that,
he would fight anybody. He was always being active.
gaming.
He was fighting in the Apex all the time and all the hard fights as well.
and I was just going to say that. They would just bring in one of these like Dagestani Russian type dudes, so they obviously expect them to probably not get past, jumping in at the Apex on a few weeks' notice and beating them.
Aye. Plus,
But-
he's
Fans like him,
He
mate.
just spars. I
He's
don't
a
think he
character.
just. I think he
And
trains.
I think that's what
He
people
just
buy
keeps
into.
sparring, doesn't he?
Like,
Fans like-
if it is put on or it's not put on, like people.
I think
want
you
to
seen
see
the
it.
real when he won the title. There was a bit of emotion there.
No doubt, though.
There's a bit of emotion
Bound to
there.
be.
Like he was holding it in a wee
Aye.
bit, and then.
Would you not be?
But the fans,
Aye.
the fans, they like him now. Like
Well, they-
especially the Australians.
I don't think they
fought for
liked
him.
Adesanya. I don't think it's only now after Adesanya losing no, like he did with Pereira.
I don't think Adesanya had a.
He was never a big fan
I never
favourite.
thought he was a big fan favourite.
I enjoyed
see, when you
watching
think
him,
about,
though.
Like Volk, fan favourite. Everybody loves him.
Oh, for sure.
You think about fighters through like the ages, and you can be like, oh, he's a fan favourite. Izzy was never a fan favourite. Well, maybe. Like I don't know, but
Global superstar, but the real MMA fans don't really.
Seen it in
buy him.
Australia. That's what surprised me. I thought Australian fans would be like proper Izzy is their guy.
is
But
this one of these
not
things
at
where it's
all.
like Australia, New Zealand? People are like, fuck Australia, fuck New Zealand. Is it like that?
I don't know, mate. I didn't know enough
Like,
about
waiting,
it.
like-
But it seemed to me like the crowd wanted Strickland to win.
Yeah.
All the build up the week before was positive, like pro Strickland.
Aye, definitely.
And I would have thought that would be the complete opposite. I thought Strickland would have been a bad guy, but not at all. It was cool. So what do we have coming up this week? And
I'm obviously 9 weeks out. Fight camp.
Yep.
Fight camp's been going all right. Tough, very very tough. Obviously monitoring calorie intake, calorie output, all that kind of stuff. I've got the UFC coming up like the 10th of October to do some filming, so maybe they'll get some behind the scenes stuff with the podcast. I don't know. But that's what I've got coming up. I need to go down and do a bit of testing down in Sheffield as well, but I think that's maybe a few weeks away.
Is that with the boxing science
Boxing
guys?
science
You
guy,
like
Lee.
them, eh?
I do. I've always liked boxing science as like at their Instagram. Like you can always find stuff. I imagine the vast majority of people who are in combat sports is watching what the guys in the boxing science are doing and implementing it.
And if you're not, you should be.
Aye. But I work with a guy, Lee Rickards, and he's very, very good. I've spoke very highly of him. Anytime I've got any chance I've got to do that, and then it's pretty much getting ready to go to Las Vegas with the boys, and they've sent us. I'll let you see what the apartment looks like. The house. It's a doozer, boys.
house.
It's a doozer.
House.
It's a fucking doozer.
It's a gaff. Gonna turn into a gaff, mate.
So it's going to be pretty cool, and then we obviously dropped Sean Clancy's news before it was actual out.
Oops.
That's what you get with this podcast.
Honesty.
Don't tell us anything. Fucking don't pop out.
Delivery cunt.
So Sean Clancy, as we said, he's signed for, this was a few weeks back, he's signed for Cage Warriors. His fight just got announced. So he's doing that in Dublin, isn't it? So he's about 3.5 weeks.
Smash that cunt.
Aye, he's about 3.5 weeks
Fucking
out.
fold that guy, man.
And then from there, he's then going to try and go into the same card as you, Chris, with Newcastle.
Aye. Good man.
So then he's coming out to Vegas with us as
Get
well.
them in rapid at that age, mate. That's it.
Is he coming to Vegas?
He's
aye?
coming to Vegas with the boys. And me, you, this guy,
I'm there.
Clancy, and what's his name? Adam. And then Lee's coming out a couple of weeks before the fight as well. So we've got a busy couple of months coming up.
Well, you have Lee basically handling the same as he did last time, just for a longer period of time.
Yep.
So he'll be taking care of the cooking.
Aye.
Just for you?
You.
Yeah, Lee.
Good for us, Ollie.
There's a couple of bags, Lee, man. Get the eggs on.
Oh man, get the eggs. And then you obviously start your fight camp this week.
Aye.
So
I'm
that's
10
you.
weeks.
You're
You're
10
9.
weeks out. I'm 9.
I'm buzzing. I'm actually buzzing to just show up to every session and do that I can. Obviously, after the jiu-jitsu one in California, I was a bit tender, but I've been driving for weeks, and driving is the worst thing to do for my injury.
And fucking walking up.
And then so I'll probably be a wee bit tender after certain sessions, which is fine.
It's
as long
expected, isn't it?
as long as I just maintain it.
It's going to be a hard couple of weeks to get your body back to the position.
Because I was
where it
always
normally
sparring
is.
anyway. I was
Aye.
doing my sparring, MMA sparring. That's like,
But then even the couple of days you've been away, like the muscles start to relax, and then when you start doing your strength and conditioning, when you start doing your street running, when you start doing stuff that you would normally do in fight camp, the body takes a couple of weeks. Like, I was the same, like, see, going back 2 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, I fucking hate this.
it's like I'm way conditioned nutrition now as well, so
It's going to make a huge difference.
they've got to tell me what I need in my body. So it makes
That's the guy that works with Mark, isn't it? Mark Ewan.
Aye.
And he's fighting this weekend in
Dublin. He's got the Bellator. I don't know what's happening with Bellator. Are they getting sold? I'm hearing a lot
They're
of
getting bought
stories.
over with.
Helwani said it on his.
They're getting bought over with PFL.
Definitely.
So PFL dropping some money.
he's saying it,
They asked
he's
in a way.
saying
So are they got to keep the athletes or what, or certain
Who knows,
ones?
man?
I
It's
don't know.
probably a,
It's probably a bad thing for MMA because you
especially in
obviously
Europe.
you want loads of different promotions there,
Aye.
so that there's opportunities for guys.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't quite make Cage Warriors. I'll maybe try PFL Europe, or I didn't make Bellator. I'll maybe try PFL. Like, there was opportunities for people to make.
Maybe give Dan Hardy a wee message after this fight.
Be like,
I think he runs like the European side of the PFL,
does,
doesn't he?
aye.
So, and I get on well all right with Dan as well. I think it's a promotion I'd definitely like to fight for in the future.
quite like it.
I like the
it.
setup, mate.
Like, we've got obviously Dylan
Tooks.
Dylan Tooks, and like he's fighting in Paris.
Yep. And if he gets through that, the final's in Dublin.
And he
Good
could
for
be
him.
and he could be fighting an Irish guy.
Is that right?
Two
Is that how it
Irish guys,
could?
aye.
Nice.
But do you know what? I've said this loads of times when talking about PFL before. I love that you know who you're. Like, there's
Oh,
a
I love
setup,
it. I love
progress.
it.
Aye.
I love that, mate.
It's good. It's good for
Simplifies
fans.
it.
I know. It's good for
Simplifies it.
fans, right? And then from that, you then get an opportunity to fight for the actual.
To go into the $1 million
into the $1 million
one,
one.
then here's your bracket again.
Aye.
Bump, bump, bump. I like it because you're just.
Like,
It's laid out. The
he's-
plan's there. Just follow the blueprint.
Dylan is in a different state of mind, but he's in a different condition for what I've seen him before. Like he's obviously working with Adam, but it's like I've seen a change in his body shape. He's
always in great shape, and now he's
taken up to the next level, and it's like he's going to be frightening, man.
The guy he's fighting, right? His striking's pish, but it works for the guy because if you watch him, he's Polish. It's awkward striking, but he's merely a grappler. Where I think
because it's those awkward shots end up connecting.
Dylan's got to piece him up on the feet, but he'll need to work hard if the guy gets a hold of him.
See when we're doing conditioning with him. There's like a Polish flag in the gym, and in between sets he's just getting at the fingers, walking like fuck. Like it's fucking wild, man. He's crazy to work out with. Like honestly, like I messaged Adam, I'm like, when the day, and he's like, aye, and I'm like, Dylan there, and he's like, aye, and I'm like, bastard.
Is he a bit much?
No, I like him a lot, mate. I really like him.
He is. He's mental as he come. His head's fucked. But he's your typical MMA fighter who is super focused on to be a champion. Like see in between rounds, like he's like walking about like a caged animal, like rather than wrestling. Like as a fighter, and you see that across the octagon feet, he's like fucking ready to go.
I like him, mate. I really like him.
When you're in working out with him and you're maybe doing pull-ups, and he's like, keep that fucking toy, and he's like fucking hitting you a rib dig, fucking waiting your back.
He's got the good banter as well. Do you know what? He's good. He's good for like. He's a good guy to have in the gym because he can have a good laugh and he can chill out. He's good for like overall morale. Because sometimes, mate, you go in the gym and you fucking know yourself, had a long day, and you know, Mrs. is giving you shit, and you get in there and then he's fucking that big cheerful grin of his, what's happening? And he's always got something positive to say. He's just a nice guy to have around. I like him a lot.
So you've got him in the PFL, but I think there needs to be more opportunities for guys, because not that I don't like Cage Warriors, but Cage Warriors got the monopoly on European fighters, isn't it? Like you want to get to the UFC, what's the route?
It is just Cage Warriors now.
You go to Cage Warriors, so it's good to have places like, because Bellator made a run. Remember, Bellator brought up quite a lot of European fighters and were paying them properly and gave everybody a good wage.
They signed a huge amount of guys on one fight deals as well, eh? And like, look, one fight deal, you do good on this fight. Like a one fight deal's good. You're not tied in. You're just like, right, one fight, perform well, and maybe get. And then none of the guys seem to get kept
but
on. I don't know.
The only issue with Bellator or European Bellator was if you want to go to the UFC, it's not a great path for you, is it? Because not a lot of people go Bellator and shoot over. There's very few of them. It's not so. Cage Warriors always had that monopoly to be like, we're Cage Warriors, you fight with us, you get to go to the UFC.
You win the title, you defend it, you go to the UFC. That's kind of the blueprint, eh?
I know, and you're obviously saying about the wee PFL fight. What about a wee Dana White?
Aye.
Surely.
Dana Shite.
Shouldn't be as funny as it was.
But obviously, just focusing on beating Perry.
That's it.
And then you can have these chats like what's next. So focus on that. Put the work in, because I'm got to put the work in.
Like Contender Series is a good
because I was starved with like the sessions I love the best is like the wall work and the jiu-jitsu, and these wrestling sessions are my favourite sessions, and I've been starved for them. They were took away from me, so I'm like, I'm so hungry to
get back in,
to get better at that, and like, because I'm still tweaking a lot of stuff, even though I've had 40 fights. There's still stuff I'm learning, and I think when that goes away and I'm not obsessed still, and then it's probably time to like retire, because you're not doing it because you love it anymore, whatever. I mean, so next week I'm going to train some this week.
Ease yourself in, because I know travel
then Monday,
absolutely smashes you.
Monday I'm going to hit it hard, and obviously the diet will be starting on Monday as well. And
have you got training partners with like, fights coming up?
I'm actually in no bad shape. I know I'm quite slouched out here like fucking Bowser, but like
they just saw the Mario Kart.
In the mornings I'm fucking shredded, man. I'm shredded, so I'm like, I think because I was walking a lot, hiking a lot.
Burning calories.
And I had a one or two in and out burgers.
I was going to say that you fucking
in and out. I did, to be fair, and they were so good, man.
But then that's part of being out of camp, innit? Like you've got to take all the niceties before camp starts, because let's be honest, camp nutrition is pish. And nutrition can be like, I'll maybe get you some chocolate, and it's like 90% cocoa.
Because you know you can't have it though. Because see, when you do have it, it's shit. It's not even worth it.
So were they in and out burgers shit then?
No, they weren't.
I was going to say, mate, because you were fucking.
We're in a wee place called Fersno or something, and it was like the local college football was playing. So all the kids were in with the tops, all the cheerleaders, and it was just pure high school fucking musical. I was fucked, and I was just what I eat. And they're like, "Hey, cottage cheese, what's it made of?" Boom, boom, like high fiving, and I'm just sitting there like this, like get away from me.
I don't get the reference.
It was so. It's a Bill Burr thing.
Oh, all right.
Bill Burr slagging.
I like Bill Burr.
To your high school musical. Cottage cheese, what's it made of? High fives and that. But they were just ordering about me. I'm just trying to eat, and then the young team came in, tattoos all over their face, and it got a bit rowdy.
Did it?
And I'm just like, I don't want to catch a bullet here. I'm just going to lift my burgers and go, no, ate the burgers and just left. But
I just seen somebody's drawn a cock on this table.
Seen that,
mate.
man?
Did you see that earlier? So
see when you draw cocks, man, it's like
is it?
few,
Needs a
hair,
bit.
few hairs in the ball.
There's not enough ball on that one there for me.
Ejaculate coming out.
I've been watching South Park, and Cartman draws a vagina on his face.
I've not seen this.
So Cartman, he's trying to start like this feminist war against obviously females. So he draws a vagina on his face, but he draws it with balls.
Quality.
Because he obviously doesn't know. He's like, so he's asking the girl, he's like, so what happens if you get kicked in the balls? And he's like, we don't have balls. And he's like, huh. Because he's obviously drew this fucking belted out vagina and he's got two big balls bags on it.
You were gutted though the first time you found out that's what it looked like, eh? Like, oh.
Aye, fannies are a mess, man.
I don't know, man. I think they're beautiful.
You wouldn't be as interested in women if it was on their head, eh?
I've seen a few.
You wouldn't be, eh? See if you saw it in the fucking dome.
Aye, but that's
you'd
the
be
same
like,
with a dick. See if his dick was just slinging off your
but at least
forehead.
you can, it's it.
No, if it was slinging off your forehead,
Aye, I'll give you that.
running all day, just running down your face. Of course you're not going to be fucking...
Fucking keep that out of my eyes.
What about me running out the beach, water, shouting at fucking two random cunts
So
and
good.
three dogs? Like, I was talking about aggressive. I was in.
No, you're not aggressive,
I was in the
mate.
sea though, and
You're
like,
so chill.
like
so
my
chill,
bags
baby.
were here. Everybody was doing here, or everybody's doing here. So for the sea, it was pretty easy to identify where my bags were.
Clearly,
Which I thought. They
Clearly.
were fucking sitting beside it, a dog sniffing my bags. I'm running out. I jump out the sea. It's like, at the start, it's like Hasselhoff, like a slow like valet. I'll go get your Mercedes jog. Right? Then it's like, as I get closer, it's turning into like Billy Connolly with like foreign cunts fucking with your bags. Like, oh, fuck off. You know what I mean? They know whatever language it is. They know what you mean.
Universal.
But mine's went, what the fuck are you doing? That's what mine was. So it was a wee bit different. And
We've been
just
very
like,
aggressive.
as I get closer, obviously I realise it's not my bags. There are three dogs that started going mental at me.
Wee
So
dogs or big ones?
Two wee ones and a big one. And they started sensing the danger, so they were like protecting. And as I get closer, I realise it's not my bag. I just turn into like, hiya, like try to talk to you. Oh, you're a dog toy. And I just left. I just left. So I'm just thinking, they've just seen a guy run through the ocean, scream at his kid on the talk, like be nice to my dogs, and then just leave.
How close were you to the people? Like, this close?
Aye.
Oh,
Me there too.
that's
Me
fucking
too, I know.
hilarious. And then you realise that's not my bag.
Aye.
I'm going to body suit.
Could have been one of
It's
these
like-
mad self-defence states.
Like what?
Get shot.
So as I walk away to where my bags was, Derek's come out of what I said. Did you just shout at me?
That's
Very
hilarious.
aggressively.
Now, Chris, seeing your accident in America.
That's what I was thinking. Like, if
Wait,
only,
what were you think?
if only
There
you could
was...
phone them for America.
If only you could get in contact with G4 Claims and get 100% of your claim.
Aye.
Well, you fucked it, mate. Because if you're looking for 100% of your claim, then why not get in touch with G4 Claims? Ross, what is their number?
01698 767 172.
Beautiful. G4. I don't know why it was funny.
It's all right, man. It's okay.
G4 Claim will do all the behind the scenes stuff that you don't want to do. They'll organise the payments so that if you're entitled to 100% of your payment, you'll get it. They'll look at doing the hire car after it if you need one. And where can you hit them up if you need to?
Notatfaultclaim.com, and all the links are also in our bio.
I definitely wouldn't have got 100% of my claim back.
So it's 100% your fault.
The bus driver, if he's needing the 100% of his claim, then
I'll
he
tell you
should
a funny
have.
story. Right? So as I've parked at the hotel, because it was round the corner, I could see the bus from my room, my hotel room.
Did the bus driver realise you hit his motor?
So I see the bus in the hotel room window, right? Derek's like, I'm going to go in a shower. I was like, right, I'm going to walk down there and notice if there was like maybe people on the bus, you know what they're like. What was going on.
Are you in any
If they even
bother?
noticed, if they even noticed. So I walk round the corner, I'm walking down. The bus driver's like out, but it's like he's waiting to pick people up for like a hotel or whatever. There's 2 motors behind the bus, said bus, and they're out. I'm like, fuck, did I hit the motors? Was it just the bus? And
Is this worse than I'm thinking?
so I'm across the road, I'm trying to like be
Nonchalant.
aye. Walking at the side of the bus just to see if there's a big like fucking tan mark right across it.
All right, driver, is something going on
So
here?
I like pure nonchalant and I cut right across the road. Just like couldn't see it right, but I see this woman on the phone and she's gone mental, but she's looking at her motor. I'm like, there definitely isn't 2 motors here. So I'm like, right, I'll go back up. I circle again. I go back round. I come back the other way. The bus was loading people on with suitcases. Like they were picking them. Get to the hotel. The bus is away. So I'm like to Derek, was it motors? Did I hit motors? I felt it was just a bus. No, it was definitely just a bus you hit. And I'm like,
I'm
Just
going
a bus.
to have to say,
so as we're putting the
you
motor in,
hit 2 motors in a bus.
we're just waiting as you're putting the motor into like, it's like video footage of somebody's dash cam and we just.
You hit 2 edibles, then hit 2 motors on a bus.
So the truth is, as you're handing your motor back in, obviously they do the checks. They look at the
Don't tell me you're like, oh,
What's that there?
even better. So they look at the mileage and the petrol, whatever. So I've left the doors open. Boom.
So they couldn't see
and
it.
it's bad. I'm talking. I'll show you the picture of it. All the way across, and like the door bits are quite a bit worse. So we've got our shit out. I'm like to Derek, don't mention it. Even though we had every insurance you could that would cover us.
It's just a hassle.
Aye.
You just don't
that's
want to
it.
deal with the shit.
And yeah, Americans are quite dodgy. Like,
Aye, you
if
didn't
they
know.
ask sometimes like, oh well, if you didn't read this fucking small print here, this means you pay 1,000 or some shit like that. But we said, so if you're in an accident, we still get the deposit back. So aye, this is the one you've paid for. Perfect, right? So guy does all the checks. Disney go round to the other side, right?
That's on him.
And what does he say? All good, guys. You're good to go. And I
See you
says,
later, mate.
Derek, as soon as he said that, whatever happens,
Don't
now,
look back.
Aye, that's it. Like they phone up. No, your guy said it was okay. So whatever happened for then until you
Right.
seen it was not on us. So
But if you have been involved in the claim, why not get in contact with G4 Claims, where you can get 100% of your claim?
G4 claims. I like
don't
the
let me drive your motor.
That's hilarious. That is
I
fucking
drove.
hilarious.
I drove to Alaska. I drove down Canada, and it was the
How many times
It was
were
the
you-
last hurdle, mate.
How many times were
Was
you
there
high
close
as fuck?
calls?
I wasn't. It's
Was
just
there
because
close calls though?
You're 100% hit 2 motors in a bus.
No.
Are you
No,
100%
just the bus.
an old
Just the bus. Just the bus.
There was an old woman getting on the
Did
bus
you-
earlier.
Right hand lane, left hand driving, all this piss. So it's sometimes you can go when it's a red light as well and stuff like that.
Do
It's
you, were you there? No, I think it was. I think it was maybe the time I drove up the wrong way at the Grand.
I've done it.
The Hoover
Yeah.
Dam. And were you? Was it you?
second time I was with you.
It may have been. I can't remember. Anyway, I come flying around the corner and I was on the wrong side of the road, and I just had I had no
Aye.
like do.
And you see the cars coming towards you and you just
And
go,
then I seen it was more bikes. And then it's, oh yeah, fucker. Pull to the other side of the road, and the guy's like, you're not in fucking Kansas anymore, motherfucker. Like, this
Because your
biker.
original plate was Kansas, maybe.
No, I don't know what it was, but I was like, oh yeah, fuck. I like a proper shit myself,
Aye.
man. And then
I remember it too.
We had my coach, who was there with, we both hired the car, right? And you know, they have like the toll sections where you have to pay a toll.
Aye.
He just flew right through it. He must have been doing 70 mile an hour. Like, and like, it was so fucking. You know how tight they are? It was slow down to get through.
Aye.
Literally, it was so fucking
I don't
tight.
chase you for that shit,
And
man.
he just wham right the way through it. And I was like, that was a toll. And he was like, no, wasn't he? And I was like,
50 toe.
I was 100%. That was a fucking toll.
So, see, when I went into Alaska, you need to go to this glacier we went to. You need to go through.
This was for the thing, all right?
the thing, aye. So,
John Carpenter,
I
Kurt Russell.
actually go. So the helicopter, the Norwegian helicopter that blew up was still there. So I got wee bits for the film. I'm getting to my mate whose favourite film
Oh,
is.
you took it?
Aye.
That's called.
It's
yours now.
It's just like bolts and a wee nothing. So you need to go into Hyder, which is in Alaska, but it's like 4 houses, right? It's like a wee town. It's got a bar. So you get Hyderized, right? So you get a shot. It's 150% alcohol, but everybody, it's quite famous in this wee bar, right?
What are they like, fishing places or something? Is that why their towns are there?
It's a gold mine.
Right,
Gold mine. So, but you're on the border, America and Canada and Alaska. So, as I was driving at this point, Derek, he knew about being hyderized and that. You have the shot. Down's the shot, right? We come out the bar.
Cold air hits you, and he
Right.
was fucking gagging.
No, but then you need to, you're at passport control, right? Like 100 yards. Guy's like, see you guys going in the bar there. You get hyderized? And I was like, I didn't. He did. He's like, you sure about that? I'm like, why's that? But on you go then. So they don't
Just took your word for it.
They don't breathalyze you in America and
They
Canada.
make you do the test, sobriety
they
test.
make you walk
the
they make
tape
you
and
walk.
that.
So you don't breathalyze.
Aye. Touch your nose, stand on one leg and hop in that.
My balance is pretty shit.
Why waste your time with that? Why not just breathalyze you?
I've got a bad knee. I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah.
I'm no drunk.
So but that be so as we're in Hyder, this wee Alaskan town, we go into this woman's shop. She made fudge and stuff like that. She stayed there all her life. There's only like 7 houses, man. It's mental.
You felt bad and bought some fudge.
Aye, the fudge was brilliant. So there's we went to the museum which had stuff about the thing, and Robin Williams filmed a film there called Insomnia with Al Pacino. So Robin Williams was staying in that wee town. So there's a book stall, like just.
Is this the one where you got it?
So I bought it from Stephen King. So just a donation. So I gave him $1. So I bought this big book for $1.
Gave the man $1.
It's fucking brilliant. I did have it as a wee guy. I used to collect all the Stephen King books, but I didn't read them all.
Heavy reading.
I read
compared to the film.
Shining. That was my first ever book I read. So I started reading this book through the holiday, and like there's obviously I tell you I've not got a good attention span when it comes to reading for long, but this book just gripped me. Like I don't know if it's because I love the films, but it was just more detailed. The killings, the clown. Everything was better.
Got to the end yet?
No, fuck no. I'm only.
All right.
I'm only at 150 pages in. So the wee boy, the gate chucked the gay guy out the bridge. The word faggot in the book is just it hits different. The fagul, they've got all these different names for it. But they lob him out the bridge, and then the guy died in the bath and stuff like that. Killed himself in the bath. So I'm loving it, man. I'm loving the book, mate. But it's big. It's a big ass book.
Fucking
Wait to get to the end.
So I bought it for $1, mate. I bought it for $1.
You need to become.
And this week-
Need to become.
Is that how?
I'm sure it's men. I'm sure
I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to spoil it for
don't-
Chris.
don't.
But
I'm
fuck
enjoying
me,
the book, so
Steve, when
don't.
you get to the end, you're going to be like, no fucking way.
Aye.
Truthfully, it's so different to the film. They couldn't have put that in the film.
No, that's
Good,
weird.
good. I like that.
Aye. So
But the book's fucking wild.
So you've read it? You've read it?
aye.
Fuck's sake, yeah.
Sorry, mate.
The book I'm on now is like a love story. Yeah, like I'd heard about this book, right? And it was loosely based upon Fleetwood Mac, who I think are fucking dynamite, right? So I'm like, hey, I'll read this. But I'm too far in now. It's a proper love story. Right? And I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna keep reading this.
What are you getting out of it?
Hard on.
Are you enjoying the book?
I am actually enjoying it, but like I'm no like see if it's one of these books that you were reading in public with a cover, you wouldn't even do it. It's a proper like a woman's
Why
love
did you
story.
pick this book up then? Where did you get the book?
It was
On Kindle?
it's on Kindles, and I'd been reading and it was loosely based upon Fleetwood Mac, and that's why I was
Right,
like,
okay,
that's kind of
so-
cool.
right.
Stevie Nicks, like how she
What are you reading, Ross?
I've got about
Any
50
other gay books?
No, I've got about 50 pages left of Ordinary Men, which is the
You love raw war books, don't you?
like the police battalions who were shooting, executing people through the war, like Jews, communists. They were just shooting all these people. So they've got a documentary about it on Netflix, but the documentary is far too thin compared to the book. But they're kind of at the stage now where like some of them are getting tried for war crimes, but mostly they're just allowed to go back to normal life.
Right.
And they've shot thousands of people.
Here's the thing about war crimes and that kind of stuff. If you're following rules, then
That's what their argument is.
Like,
Well, it wasn't illegal to shoot them at the time, so how's that a crime?
I've been forced to see that.
I mean,
them or
well,
me.
there's not one single case of that. That's what they're saying. Not one guy was forced to. That's the main thing of the book is
You can take it on your own.
didn't have to do it. So that's what the War Crimes Tribunal saying. Like, you weren't made to do it, and they were like, but everyone else was doing it, so I didn't want to let the guys do it. That's their argument.
if all your
That's
mates
their
are
whole
having cocky
argument.
bum wanks, so you don't go to
One guy fell.
Me bastards.
That's what they're saying. Some of them are like, I'd fucking do it again if it was now.
Just fun.
One
Just having a good
boy
time.
got.
I threw grenades in one time.
He'd moved he'd moved to Poland, and then he fell out with his wife, and his wife stuck him into the fucking authorities. They took him to trial and then like shot him the next day, executed him the next day after an argument with his wife. It's fucked up, but it's a good book.
So I was watching something last night about who's a dictator in Korea,
North Korea, Kim Jong-un.
how they killed his brother. You see that stuff?
He chucked him with a dog, chucked him with dogs. That was his uncle, I think.
They go to somebody to assassinate him by saying it was a prank on a prank TV show where you had to go and rub like a wipe on his neck.
Poisoned him.
Aye, with a wipe. And it was like, oh, these are pranks. And
That's
they
a shit prank, innit?
Just go to some random to go and assassinate this guy.
What happened to that boy? Who?
And then they were off. They just flew away. Mental.
Wow.
That's a true story.
That's fucking wild.
Did you know about this? Unbelievable. Like this is a prank. They think they were getting filmed for a TV show.
We just need to wipe.
Wipe this thing on his neck.
Just killed the cunt.
And get must go into their arteries or some sort of blood
Poison.
flow or whatever. Aye.
There was who was the guy that was poisoned with?
Maybe I'm talking shit here, but I feel like I'm
No, who was
Novichok.
Aye, like
Aye. They got they got the junkies who smoked the stuff as well. Mind that.
No.
Mind there was a guy and a woman. They put the stuff on the door handle, and then they still had the boys who done it still had some left over, so they threw it over a fucking graveyard wall, and then two junkies found it and took it. And one of them died, one lived. Like,
junkies are fucking bomb proof.
why would you do that?
Junkies are bomb proof.
Just found some stuff in a graveyard, I'm going to take it. But I think the people they rubbed it on the door handle survived. I think a policeman touched it.
Aye.
But what was the guy they killed again? What was his name? They done him with an umbrella, didn't they? Had the wee
Aye, they
fucking
jabbed
umbrella
him.
gun, stabbed him with an umbrella.
still game.
Aye. But that's what they did and
Poisoned
injected him
him,
with
walked
poison.
away.
Killed the cunt. Poor
wild,
guy.
isn't it?
But he was a spy, wasn't he? He defected to. He'd been in the KGB and
But he
defected
was,
to Britain.
He was the kind of pretty bad way.
Aye. Oh, it was horrible. Eh? What was his name again?
Like Rasputin.
Mate, it looked just like melted.
Yeah.
Just went to fuck all. But he said straight away, it's like, I've been done by the KGB. Because he was probably, that's what he used to do to cunts.
At the point, everybody was like, "Nah, man. How we doing?" Right, boys. Chris Bungard's got shit today, so go fuck yourself.
Not at all.